You probably think no African country has ever built nuclear weapons, but that is not true. During the Cold War, one African country secretly built 6 nuclear bombs, but then something great happened. They destroyed them. So why would a country that has something as powerful as nuclear bombs decide to give them up? And also, why would an African continent decide to ban all of these nuclear weapons completely? To understand that, let us look at what actually makes a nuclear weapon goddamn powerful. Only 9 countries possess nuclear weapons: United States, United Kingdom, Russia, France, North Korea, China, India, Israel, and Pakistan. Just these 9 nations. So you might ask yourself, why is that just 9 countries possess these things and other countries are not also making these warheads? Well, these 9 countries actually thought of it, and the world was actually worried. So in the year 1960, countries negotiated something called the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, and the deal was simple. The countries that have these nuclear warheads already as at the end, which was these 9 people, will not make any more. And the countries that do not have them will not do them. The treaty makes sense because the world actually feared us making more of these bombs. Like, yes, I bomb the baby brain, you get me, and we'll end up killing ourselves. In 1996, the African continent signed a treaty called the Pelindaba Treaty. Now, if you're asking what Pelindaba is a Zulu word which simply means end of story, or it is finished. If you are Ghanaian, Pelindaba, like Pelindaba. If you're Ghanaian, you get what I mean. Good. So in 1996, these African countries signed this treaty. It made the whole continent a nuclear weapon-free zone. So there's no nuclear weapon allowed on this continent, not just by these African countries. Today, there are more than 1.4 billion people living in a nuclear weapon-free zone, making Africa the largest continent or the largest area which is nuclear weapon-free. There are no nuclear weapons on this continent. But here's the surprising part. Africa didn't reject the notion of nuclear weapons because it did not have the capability. Actually, one African country did have nuclear weapons. During the Cold War, South Africa secretly developed nuclear weapons. Keyword secretly. Between the late 1970s and the late 1980s, they developed 6 nuclear bombs. 6 of them. They're actually on the verge of making the 7th one when something big happened. And mind you, these bombs were operational. I don't want you to think about it because it is Africa, so the bombs, this is not Kantanka. I'm not talking about Kantanka here, no offense. But then, these were operational. As South Africa was fighting for democracy, the new presidency decided to not destroy them but dismantle all of these bombs. They brought them down and dismantled everything. And to date, South Africa remains the only country in the history of this war, the only country to voluntarily give up these bombs. The 9 countries that own these bombs to date have not given up one import. They're actually building more after the treaty they signed. But then South Africa gave up its bombs. So without these nuclear weapons, how can Africa defend itself? That's a question we've all been asking ourselves. Like, Charlie, we are just here and another country decides to wage a war against an African country. How will you defend yourself? Well, the truth is, with Africa, we decided to do prevention is better than cure method. Count the amount of coup d'etats we've had on this continent. If there was a presence of nuclear kayasa, there would have been no one on this continent. Think about it that way. Africa taking this decision, was it the right decision or not?